The crew worldwide, from Cali to Twitter, real hardcore fans, boxing ass niggas, consistency cops, police the views, we'll pull up receipts for any debate you choose. Shout outs to Clan Archie for the dope production. Ring Gang stay with the best discussions. Ring Gang Radio.
Yeah. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Real Talk, where, as always, if shit's real, we talk about it. I'm your host for tonight, Patscorpio, the New England representative. And as always, I got my man with me, so I'm going to let him introduce himself.
Yo, what it do, man? Shutterworth Da Gawd artist. Ring Gang Radio in the building, the Soul Wars.
That's what it is. Shit, that's what it is, man. Ring Gang Radio's in the house, man. So we're here, man, on Thursday night. And if I sound a little different, it's because I had my company holiday party or whatever, and I ate and drank good a little bit. So so I'm feeling good right now. You know what I'm saying? I got the fire in the belly. Word. So man, we're gonna talk about a couple, two things tonight. The first is the recap of the Lomachenko Pedraza ESPN card. From top to bottom, it was a pretty balanced card. Overall, it's entertaining as fuck.
Agreed.
Was that?
No, I said agreed. Like, it was an entertaining card. Like,
yeah,
you're right.
Yeah. So before we get, of course, we talk about the main event. We definitely want to spotlight the two undercard fights. The first one was Teofimo Lopez versus Mason Menard. Now, on paper, that was a good. On paper, it was a good fight because you get a step-up fight for Lopez against someone who is proven, who's been with some tough competition like Mason Menard, to see if he would he'd pass the test. And it's safe to say that he definitely did pass the test.
He out of that test.
Hell yeah, like I'm saying, he straight A's in that motherfucker, man. Like, he didn't waste no motherfucking time. He aired that nigga out in one fucking round, man. And it was brutal. It was brutal as fuck. Just one right hand. And dude fell like face first, man. And as always, if it's face first, they don't get up. His ass was not getting up, man.
Well, 90% of the time, that's a fact. Like,
yeah, man.
They fall forward, it's over.
Yeah, and I was like, honestly, I wasn't expecting the fight to end in maybe the fourth or fifth round. I was just like, I thought he was gonna take his time to break it down, but I guess he had some shit he had to do. You know what I'm saying? He wasn't trying to fuck around. He needed to get up out this ring and go do Fortnite dances or whatever the fuck he likes to do.
he wanted to see that main event like everybody else.
Exactly. He wanted to get back and shower and shit, and eat something, unhealthy before he gets to see the main event. So it was for sure that was a KO of the year candidate if I ever saw one. And you can tell the crowd was fucking with it, man. It was like shit, he did his thing, like Teofimo Lopez.
It's top 10. I don't think I'll put it top 5 though, but it's top 10.
Yeah, of course, yeah, definitely.
We've had some great KOs this year, man.
Yeah, and then pretty much I think when we're ready to do our year-end show, we'll try to spotlight, when we do the superlatives and everything like that, we'll definitely make sure to spotlight some of them KOs. And Lopez sending Menard to the bushes is definitely a top 10 KO of the year. That's for damn sure. Teofimo Lopez, man, he's I can see him within probably the next year or so. I wouldn't be surprised if he gets a title shot. Let's see. He's at 135. He's a lightweight. So of course, it depends too. By then, if Lomachenko got, it ends up getting 3 of the belts, of course, that remains to be seen.
And that fight is so far in advance. Like, I don't think him and Loma will even cross paths if they're not just sharing the same car like they did that night. Like,
yeah, that is exactly true, man. Because I mean, Lopez, still a young guy. He's in his 20s, 21, I think, and Lomachenko probably has no more than maybe 3 more years, 4 tops of physical prime, depending on injuries and whatnot. So yeah, their paths may never cross, but you never know who gets fast tracked and what happens. Boxing is the theater of the unexpected, man. But Teofimo Lopez, man, that dude's the future star. As long as he doesn't end up like the other dude that was fast tracked and ended up getting KO'd by a Mexican. I mean, I know that name pretty much brings up bad memories for most people, man. But with his struggle, I think that's an appropriate name that we want to call it. But yeah, I look forward to another Teofimo Lopez, and of course him doing one of them crazy ass Fortnite dances in celebration. So the co-main event, though. The co-main event on paper, was Isaac Dogboe. He was the WBO super bantamweight champion versus Emmanuel Navarrete, who was pretty much, one thing. It was pretty much an unknown fighter, but I mean, dude was like 25-1 with 22 knockouts, something crazy like that.
Yeah, he definitely had power, like you could tell.
Yeah, like on paper, it's. I mean, the guy was like 5'9", and he has like a heavyweight's reach. So I was thinking to myself, man, I was thinking to myself in my head. Although I didn't really let it be known like publicly, I was like, if dude has an ounce of punching ability, he may give Dogboe, who's like 5'2", 5'3" tops. He might give Dogboe some trouble if he can take some of his punches.
And boy, did he.
Yeah, he did. Dogboe, no, he was hyped though. I was like, because Dogboe right now, is riding like a wave of momentum because he had a hell of a year. He knocked out Cesar Juarez in January to get the interim belt, and then he became the full version champ when he knocked out Jesse Magdaleno, and that was a fight of the year candidate. And then on the Zurdo card, he was the highlight when he sent that Japanese fighter Otaki to the bushes with 1 round. So like, dude had put in some serious work this year.
Damn, just to see it all come crashing down at the end of the year, like.
Yeah, man.
Bittersweet, man. Bittersweet.
Yeah, man. Like I said, Dogboe, because he's fought was like such, he fought like a warrior. So you just hate to see
so much intensity.
Yeah, man. It was just like, I mean, I don't know if he didn't have the right plan or didn't have the right or didn't train correctly for this fight. But he was never able. I think he was just moving just to try to bomb him out. He didn't really make any difference. Like he wasn't moving his goddamn head at all. Like
that was really it. That was really the biggest problem was defensively, like because. Every so often, like I thought he won some rounds. Like I thought he had about 2 or 3 rounds, and he was competitive in certain rounds that he lost. Like right. I didn't really count him out of the fight until towards the end, where it was like, okay, like Navarrete kind of since he had that momentum and he kind of just he didn't let his foot off the gas. Like he kind of just kept it steady and just. Started wailing on Dogboe, and Dogboe just didn't really have no answers at that point.
Yeah, and that's the thing. I really wanted Dogboe to show like a different dimension, because I think the fight started changing in the mid rounds where Navarrete, right. like I said, though he realized he was fighting. At first, he was kind of fighting. He wasn't using his size really all that much, and that's why Dogboe was able to win some of the earlier rounds.
Right,
but the work rate of Navarrete was the key to thing. for him to slow down Dogbe, because Dogbe, you know, I mean, he was having a hard ass time keeping up with that work rate. But then Navarrete did have a moment where he kind of gassed. He didn't get a second win, and then that was the round where the referee called a clear knockdown. To me, it was a overhand right to the top of the head. You know, it was a slip, which it was not a slip. I mean, Dogbe scored the knockdown, and I think that knockdown, had it counted, probably would have. I mean, that could have feasibly been. I think it was like 115, 113 on 2 cards, I believe.
It could have changed the course of the fight, because you don't know how Navarrete would have fought after that.
Right.
Like, people don't understand. Like, when you, and I know the ref's job is hard, but come on, man. Like,
yeah,
I hate seeing blown calls, because people, you know, sometimes these knockdowns could throw the course of a fight, because it's not just getting the point. It's how that person responds to the knockdown. It's how you fight afterwards. It's how your opponent fights afterwards.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they probably was gonna turn it up the next round. Now they might say, "Fuck, let me turn it up 2 more rounds later."
Right. And then, I'm just taking a look at the score. Right. It does. And now let's take a look at the score. So, it was only one judge that scored at 115, 113. So that knockdown counted. It would have probably just been a majority decision win rather than a unanimous decision, because the other 2 scored were 116, 112. The knockdown would have been something a little different.
That's boring. And that's boring. Navarrete fighting the exact same way.
Exactly.
Which we don't know.
Yeah, man. So, but Navarrete, though, once he got his second win, man, I hate to say this, though, because I have to be tacked, though, because Dogbe was wearing, but he got the dog shit beaten out of him. Like, it was to the point where I was thinking either the trainer should try to pull him out, because the last 2 rounds, that motherfucker was catching some work. Like, it was serious.
See, they should have stopped it. The fight should have been done in the 10th or the 11th. Once you get to the 12th, I was just like, well, damn, let the man just go hit the final bell now. Like, shit.
Yeah, like Navarrete was killing dude. Like, Dogbe, like, his eye was closed. Like, he could barely stay. Like, he had taken so much punishment. I was like, oh man, I really hope that Dogbe does not get ruined by this. But he hung on, man. He didn't go down, which was even more.
Yeah, I gotta see. I don't know, because, man, that kid got some heart, and for such a big year, I just hope he stay positive and he don't return so fast and so hard.
Yeah, because like I said, because he already had a war early this year when he actually became a full champion. So it's just like, you don't want to see a young fighter like that take all that punishment. Yeah, and that's what and my thing is, I think Dogbe after this year should really take it easy. Like, he should probably take a little break. Because like I said, I mean, 4 fights in 1 year, in 1 calendar year, shit, he deserves it.
That's great. I applaud that. We need more people hungry and fighting like 4 times. So he honestly didn't have to take this fight.
Yeah, he really did. But
for this fight 3 times, that would have been classic. That would have been good enough.
Yeah, but no, I mean, you don't see too many champions fighting 4 fights in a year. I mean, the only other champion, well-known champion is Munguia. He's the only one that's actually, or the only other fighter that's actually fought more.
And just in the past, I'm trying to think, like, Nonito Donaire did it once.
Yeah.
And was Golovkin champion when he fought 4 times, or was that just 3 times?
Yeah,
I don't remember.
He was champion. I mean,
I think he was champion.
Yeah, because he was champion since 2011. And he yeah, and that was the thing. Like, he used to be super active.
And that's how you build up your reputation. That's how you build up the stature in the sport. So, Dogbe, we wish you, a good return when you come back. And Navarrete, man, good work, man. Y'all gave us a good damn fight, bro. Like,
yeah, exactly. And Navarrete, though, I mean, that's it. I mean, he's signed to the same promotion as Munguia, man. And like that promotion, Zanfer Promotions, man, they be finding that talent, man. Like, dude came out of nowhere, bruh, and he became champion. And became champion in a fan-friendly fight, man. And so, I mean, definitely
it's cool. ESPN and Top Rank. I can't lie. Like, ESPN been low-key had probably one of the better years, out of all the boxing, networks this year. Like,
oh yeah, no, that is real talk though. Straight up, like I say it too. Is like ESPN, like for fight quality, like they killed it this year. Like I haven't seen a year like that for ESPN in a while, but they killed this year. Like
it's not, and it ain't always about the biggest fights and the stars. Sometimes you just want to see quality matchups that result in good entertaining fights. And sometimes, boxing, everybody deserves a shine. Sometimes you gonna have contenders fighting,
right,
champions fighting. If everybody put their best foot forward and on a good performance, the sport grows. So it's all good. I just gotta say, like, ESPN, like, I don't know, man. Like, they've had a great year as far as like consistently having like dope fights. Like,
yeah, man, yeah, definitely. And of course they're gonna continue too with tomorrow on ESPN Plus. They're airing the rematch between Zurdo Ramirez, WBO super middleweight champion, and Jesse Hart, the rematch, man. And yeah, and that first fight is actually one of Zurdo's best fights, entertainment-wise. I mean, that shit was off the chain, and it was close. So I mean, ESPN has that, and then has the Warrington Frampton card. I think those are their last two.
Damn, you know what? ESPN might have a crown this year, man.
Yeah, and seriously, like, if those fights,
like, real
like, and if either of these fights turn out to be like another fight of the year candidate, I honestly, I would give it to them. Like, they've had probably more fight of the year candidates than HBO or Showtime, or I mean, DAZN. I don't think has had one. I mean, unless you count the Usyk Bellew fight, but ESPN, like, it wasn't. I mean, they've had steady, like, some of them are slightly under the radar, but they've had they've done more. I've said it before, they've done more with less, and I can respect that. Yeah, and like if you do it, if you're doing more, that means your matchmaking is on point and everything. And Dog Bay versus Davarate is a perfect example of one of those fights, because that shit was a brutal fight, and viewers were fucking with it. Like, I saw some of the reactions on it, and like, people were loving the fight, and also people were not loving, though. I mean, obviously Dog Bay getting the beating that he took, because I think it was because he was just too brave. But still, though, kudos to ESPN for actually making that fight and airing it and having it play out as it did. So I mean,
we knew the main event. We knew the main event wasn't going to be, wasn't going to be hot like that. Like, we knew it was going to be decent, but we needed that. The bloodthirsty ghouls needed that type of fight. I mean,
exactly. They got it too, because I mean, it made people like, okay, we want to see what's gonna happen.
Yeah, you had people. Nah, that's enough.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, we good. We get it. Like, the Mexican won.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and then Navarrete, he's finding himself now. I mean, 122 is begging for a tournament, like, a World Boxing Super Series tournament, like. And I think a lot of the 122 champions, I think, now may end up in the zone. But yeah, I mean, that division is begging for a damn tournament. Like, this shit will be on point if they can ever pull it off in that division. And because I would love to see Navarrete or versus a Ray Vargas or versus a Daniel Roman, or Rigo, who's still a lineal 122 champion. Although I think he's signed to Heyman, so I don't know how feasible that is to actually get him to do any shit like that. But yeah, man, Navarrete, man, just that performance, I would definitely love to see him in that type of affair. And so that would be, and it would be dope. Of course, in the boxing, boxing wins, us fans win too. So, yeah, that takes us to our main event of the evening. For that was Vasyl Lomachenko, the WBA lightweight champion, versus Jose Pedraza, the WBO lightweight champion that he won from. Why did I just draw a blank on the motherfucker's name? Why the fuck did I just draw a blank? That must be that fucking beer talking to me. Oh shit. Yeah, Ray Beltran. There we go. So what the fuck am I doing? He's like, shit, I watched that shit. So
that was another good fight.
Yeah, it was. It really was. So LB, what was your thoughts on Lomachenko Pedraza?
I mean, I thought it was a good performance from Lomachenko. We all know, considering the circumstances with his right shoulder, that was a unification fight. I mean, he beat Linares for the title. He moved up, hurt his shoulder in that one early and got a knockout. Come on, man. Like, okay, can't live off that win. He goes fight Pedraza, who, we thought was done for after Tank obliterated him. But he turned around and he's able to beat a guy like Ray Beltran, who to this day is probably one of Terrence Crawford's better wins if you're gonna be keeping it real.
Yeah. I mean, Beltran went the distance with Crawford, man. I mean, Beltran, of course,
he took like a couple rounds, like just working. So it's like, so the man been in there, he can fight, like, but he was probably one of those situations where it took him so hard to get to the mountaintop that he didn't have no more once he got there. And Pedraza, less mileage, took it. So he gets to fight with Lomachenko, different approach. He tries to box Lomachenko, and Lomachenko just, instead of playing chess with Pedraza, he plays speed chess. And that was a difference in this fight. You can see it. I mean, Pedraza, was jabbing and he had his little moments, but I never really thought he was really into the fight to do anything or to win major rounds or grab a momentum from Lomachenko. Lomachenko did what he wanted besides using the right hand like that. So
right, and then one thing I know too. I mean, yeah, because I mean, the first half of the fight was on some tentative shit, like a lot of it was just like both of them trying to like fill each other out, pause, and then trying to see what each other had, and then and there was definitely a case Lomachenko's right hook was missing from the equation and I had a feeling too the shoulder was, I think he was very self-conscious about his shoulder, and then also another thing that I noticed too, that Pedraza's defense and movement was giving that motherfucker fits. Because Lomachenko himself is a mover too. Pedraza is also a mover, and that shit was, and that's why I think it took Lomachenko so long to actually really try to process what the fuck he was doing. Like, and then another thing too, like Pedraza's not the most
offensive like that.
Yeah,
like but Pedraza wasn't really fighting to win rounds or nothing like that.
Nah. But the one thing that I did notice too, like the punches that Pedraza did land, Lomachenko, I mean, his face showed it. Like, I mean, his face definitely showed the effects of the punches that he took from him. Surprisingly, I didn't. And Lomachenko's not a guy that gets. I mean, Lomachenko got his ass whooped by Salido, and even his face wasn't as lumped up as it was against Linares and now Pedraza.
Salido was hitting him in the balls instead of his face all night. That's why. The way you said that Salido was beating shit out of him. Oh my God, nigga, you always every time.
Hey man, it just bees like that, son. It just bees like that. So
he won, but I ain't gonna say he beat the shit out. Like, look, I ain't seen no one beat the shit out of Lomachenko yet. I'm gonna just be honest with you. Like, I'm waiting for that day, and if the way he's moving, because it ain't too much to say on the Pedraza fight. What's more interesting is to see what's going to happen after the Pedraza fight.
Yeah, but I mean that round 11 though, where Lomachenko, I mean, he came close to putting that dude away. Like
I thought he had him after that. Like he was beating his ass at.
And I think after that Pedraza, I think he was technically he was. I mean, I think he just fought to survive. He was done.
Like fuck it, like this nigga got hands, B.
Yeah, like he just wanted to just stand, like, you know, he just wanted to stand just like, fuck it, you know, if I'm gonna lose my title, I'm gonna lose my title on my feet. You know what I'm saying? You know, I'm gonna last in the bell. So I mean, yeah, it was a good fight though. I mean, you got to see. I mean, you got to see like a different aspect of Lomachenko. You know, because I mean, it's been a while since that motherfucker actually went to a decision. I don't think I think the last fight he actually won by a decision was that Thai fighter he fought after Gary Russ. I think that was the last one, and that had been a minute. I think that was the last fight he had since, you know, he had actually went to a full decision. So that was a hell of a streak. So yeah, Lomachenko, he won the fight, and now he has the WBA and the WBO lightweight titles. Pedraza, of course, is just, I mean, it's a setback, and, you know, depends on what he's going to depends on what he's going to do next. And Lomachenko, I think now the goal for him is to face the winner of the Richard Kame fight and the Russian to fill the vacancy of the IBF lightweight title. I think that's the next plan, and, you know, because I think they're trying to work Lomachenko to actually being the undisputed lightweight champion. And of course, you know, the other lightweight belt is still held by Mikey Garcia. That fight, as much as we all want to see it, I'm not even holding my breath on that fight, because the nonsense is already flying, and who even knows?
Honestly, that's just not the fight. It's one of those fights that I don't think was ever meant to be. It's like Triple G and Andre Ward. Only really the Ward fans wanted that fight, but everybody else knew that fight never really had a realistic chance of happening. The career trajectories were just too far apart, let alone the weight classes. And the same thing I think is happening with Mikey Garcia and Lomachenko.
Right.
Two different careers, man. It's just two different blocks, two different careers, two different weight classes, or three.
Right, yeah. So it's just like
Tank is the fight. Tank is the fight for Lomachenko.
Tank is the fight for. I mean, it can be a fight for Mikey Garcia too, since, you know, they are under the same fucking promoter, allegedly, or they have the same.
I understand that, but I don't know if it's worth it for. Because Lomachenko and Tank already been having that whole social media corresponding, and the divisions are kind of closer. I mean, Tank to skip up and go to Mikey Garcia, that's like Mikey Garcia skipping up going to Errol Spence.
Yeah, I mean, and that is pretty much right now. I mean, we don't know where that WBC lightweight belt is going to go, because it all depends on what the state of Mikey's, you know, after the fight with Errol Spence. You know, I mean, who knows? Like, I mean, you know, if he's going to give up the belt, or if he wins the fight, or he beats Spence. I mean, like I said, there's a lot of questions like surrounding that damn belt. You know, if he wins, is he gonna give up the belt? If he loses, and then he gets injured, you know, what are you gonna do? You know, it's a whole question mark with Mikey Garcia right now, because we just don't know what the fuck he's really doing or what his end goal is.
Man, I think Mikey Garcia gonna be good, because I feel like there's better fights surrounding him than there is Lomachenko right now. To me, Lomachenko just had the Pacquiao fight as a potential. I'm talking about earlier, because if y'all remember the episode me and PJ did with the eye test with the whole potential Lomachenko Pacquiao fight.
Yeah,
I thought he had that fight there, but then, you know, he didn't. It sounded like he didn't really want it. Like, he didn't want to move up. He didn't want that smoke, and that's what it really sounded like to me. And the only other fight after that, that I think that everybody would get behind as far as wanting to see it would be Tank. Yeah, the unification fights are cool, but they ain't gonna really get the needle moving. You know, a Tank fight would.
Yeah, but I mean, Tank right now is a 130 champion. He ain't a 135 champion unless you're just trying to get this nigga, you know, trying to get. I mean, of course, I don't think. I mean, Tank's probably not too long for 135, anyways. Because this nigga, you know,
that's what I'm saying. And it's like I feel like Lomachenko, like I would throw the bag at Tank.
Mm-hmm.
What other big money fight Lomachenko got that we want to see? Like honestly, because if not that, he's gonna have to go up to 140 and fight one of them damn killers.
Yeah.
Like honestly, like that Maurice Hooker, like I don't know if Lomachenko handles him all that smoothly.
No, not.
It's like Ramirez.
And that goes about that comment that I know you disagree with, but I'm thinking that Lomachenko's ceiling is getting he's sitting his ceiling at 135. I mean, I know
it looks that way, but I need a little more proof. I feel where you're coming from. I want to say I agree with you, but I just need a little more, like, because we don't know truthfully yet all the way. Like, I feel like we're 65% of knowing that 35 is the ceiling, if that makes sense.
I mean, because Linares obviously. Linares is a legit 135 pounder, and you know, yeah. And that's a hell of a fight. And then, but Pedraza though wasn't landing like Linares was landing, and Pedraza marked up Lomachenko pretty good. So I mean, and of course, the only way we'd really know for sure is if Lomachenko takes on a soft touch rather than, I guess, go after Kami. And him going after, if Richard Kami wins this belt, so to speak, you know, that's gonna be 3 rough fights in a row with Kami, who is.
I mean, this is the thing. It's like who could Lomachenko fight that's less than Kami?
Yeah. I mean, of course, the Russian cat. No, go ahead.
No, I'm sorry, my mother. I was saying, like, we don't want to see a fight that's less than that.
Yeah, I know, and I don't think Lomachenko does either. But I guess it's we will eventually see, man. Like, we'll see what the next moves are, because I know, like I said, you know, they're trying to see if they can get that IBF belt, and then go from there. With Pedraza, like I said before, I mean, he's probably have to go back to the drawing board, you know, in terms of what he's going to do, because he lost his momentum a little bit.
Right. Yeah, if he bounced back from the Tank fight, I think he could bounce back from Lomachenko.
Mm-hmm.
Like this, I don't think it's a Beltran situation where it just seemed like he lost a step and he don't look like he'll get that step again. Like we saw him at the end of the line. Like I didn't get that from Pedraza, but who knows? Because, you know, at the end of the day, we not in the ring with them taking the punches and getting jukes and all of that shit.
Right. Yeah. So, but yeah, overall, it was a damn good fight, though. I mean, it was a good fight to me. You know. It wasn't, you know, like I said, it wasn't the back foot boxing, which, you know, LB absolutely despises, the minimalist boxing. And, well, in spots, you know, completely. There was an attempt, you know, there was a fighter that attempted to put the other fighter away, and that's all we asked for in the end. Really.
Thank you, man. It's the hurt business, but it's a spectator sport.
Yeah. Yeah, so I mean, the whole ESPN card, man, kudos, man. It was entertaining from, like, I was engaged from top to bottom for every fight. So props to ESPN, you know, for really, like, stepping it up this year with the fights that they've aired on their channel. They've had a hell of the year, and, you know, hopefully, you know, probably in 2019, you know, they improve it on it some more. You know, keep up the good work.